are.
And we're live.
Hey!
Welcome to the NotJah Witness Deconversion Story After Party. And I don't even have any fucking beers. So.
Don't look at me.
Wait. I'll be right back because I have some fucking scotch. Hang on.
Now you're talking. Yeah, you've got it. Well, I've got that half a fifth back there that's going to last a couple more years at least. Like I tell everybody, I have a drinking problem. There's booze all over the place, and I forget to drink it. That's a problem.
Yeah,
hey, what are you dealing with here, Neil?
I think he's still going. He'll be back in a sec.
It's a new color, so I don't know that I know this one.
Oh, hang on.
Hang on to what?
I don't know.
I find something.
What's his name there? Oh, come on. What's his fucking name? I was doing this all last week, man. I was trying to remember people's names, like movie stars or musicians and shit, and I'm like, that fucking guy, and I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember Morgan fucking Freeman's name, and now I can't remember the other dude from Pulp Fiction that was always did the Bible thing whenever he was about to shoot
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes, but in the Jurassic Park movie where you get hold on to your butts. How about that one? In response to the hold on to what? All right, I'm gonna go with a little.
Okay, it's a little bright. There's a little bit of glare going on. Is that the Glenlivet?
Yeah, it's a Glen. It's just a 12-year-old, but it'll do.
Okay.
Let's sniff the cork now.
I tell you, my next acquisition, I think, is going to be an 18-year-old Glenfiddich.
Oh yeah, I've got 15 in the bedroom.
So. Okay.
I think the other one I really like is the Glen 21-year-old. Is so nice.
Yeah, but it would cost me a year's receipts to buy one.
Well, then you start saving them up.
There you go. Because Christ, I think the 18-year-old, I was looking at about 150. I have to look to make sure.
Yeah, 150 sounds about right, because it's going to be close to 200 here.
Yeah.
Here's to you, NotJah. Thanks for doing this, brother.
Hey, that's all right, man. Kind of feel it's still too early for me to have a drink, so I'm like, oh.
Well, in your part of the world, it is.
I'll grab a soft drink, though.
NotJah, it's past noon where you are, so you're okay, right?
Crackabrewski.
Okay, what the hell is going on here? Okay, I see Glenfiddich 18-year small batch reserve, 3/4 liter, 129. But then I see over here, Glenfiddich single malt Scotch, 1978 rare collection, 3/4 liter, $4,999.99.
Oh yeah, that's I've never had that before.
78?
Not sure, but I hear that it's some of the smoothest shit you can drink. So
well, at that price, I'm not going to be drinking too much of it. I can assure you that.
Maybe someday we'll be able to crack a bottle of that stuff, man.
My next machine isn't going to cost that much.
I want to buy some of the special reserve shit that Glenlivet has. That's I think it's the Glenlivet, or it could be a Glenfiddich, but it's upwards of somewhere near $1 million. But there were only 11 bottles ever made.
Holy damn. That is okay.
The question is, would you drink it?
Oh,
I'd be afraid to.
I'd have a glass. I'd probably keep it stashed for extremely special occasions.
Well,
but I'd have to try it at least once.
Wouldn't you lose 90% of its value the moment you open the bottle?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I'm not drinking. I'm not fucking buying this shit to look at it. I want to know. I want to know what $1 million Scotch fucking tastes like.
And you know something? It might
enough.
not taste all that much better than $130 scotch.
I know. If that's the case, I'll sell it for half the price.
Oh, is that you? Yeah, that was you that was telling me. What is it, Oban?
Oban makes some really, really nice stuff.
Yeah. I have to look that one up. The local liquor store does not have it. I'm gonna have to see. There's a liquor store.
They could order it.
Okay, yeah, there's a liquor store not far from here that has everything.
Oh, there you go.
So I might go down there one day because I have to pick up a tool anyway at the local Lowe's Home Improvement store, and it's in the same shopping area. So see what they have and see how much they want for it, and maybe it will be a holiday gift from me to me this winter. Because I like the winter holidays. Well, we were
perfect.
I mean, we were talking about the winter holiday stuff. I'm going through my apartment, trying to decide what I absolutely need to keep and what I can get rid of. And unfortunately, I hate to do it, but a lot of my winter holiday decorations might have to be on the go list because I've got no place to set them up.
Right.
I mean, those of you who are watching, and I'm going to have to go to your channel, Neil, and put up the YouTube version of this thing. Those of you who are watching are looking at my living area. There is a bedroom here. It is my library. There are 6 bookshelves, 800 books back there. No room to sleep. So, where do you put up a Christmas tree? Here, it's kind of full. Damn it. So who do we have here? Oh, what the hell is going on here? We have one watching now.
Yeah.
I know.
Is that me?
That could be you. Well, no,
well,
I think...
GE is
do they count you if you're also in the stream?
I don't know, to be honest.
I'm not sure how that one works, because I know Russ was watching.
Neil, you didn't put a link in the... Okay, I tried to tell you before you brought the other one down. It's usually a good idea to put the link to the after show in the main show so everybody can see it and go on over.
Oh, you mean to put it in where we left off?
So when you and NotJah were streaming with the deconversion story, set up the link, set up the new after show stream and put its YouTube URL in the main stream. That way people see it and they can go there. Yeah. You cannot start the stream when you have the other one going, but you can have the YouTube link ready to go for the people who want to watch.
I have is it possible?
Probably not.
Shit.
No, is what possible?
NotJah's video is not showing up in my videos.
Give it time. It's going to need some processing time.
Yeah, it won't pop up straight away.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, go to your
history.
Oh, what is it? Your video manager or whatever that thing is called.
I have it's basically the history. And I can go in there and I can put the link here. Oh, wait a second. No. I can't do it fucking here. What am I, drunk or something?
Mm-hmm.
Hang on here. No, not yet.
Yeah, let me go, and you've got me thinking now because I cannot remember what they call that page, and I need to remember what that page is called. Creator Studio.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. And it is in the video manager. There you go. You should see it there.
Yeah, I can't seem to fucking find creator studio in here.
Okay, in the upper right, there's your icon in a little circle.
Icon.
It's in the upper right corner of the YouTube page.
Are you looking? You're on your computer, yeah.
No, I'm assuming you're on a computer. Are you on something else?
Yeah, I was on my device. Let me go onto the computer.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's not a big deal. I can go into it here.
Okay.
Great. So yeah, for whatever reason, it doesn't allow you in there on the device. I don't know why.
Yeah, they don't have it on the iOS.
Yeah, that's kind of
the apps
poo-poo
and stuff. It's irritating.
Yeah, I can't. I know. Can't do it on my phone either. I should also post it. Should I put the join link?
Do not make the join link public. You really don't want to do that.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so I'll just put the actual.
You've already got it started. You may as well just copy the YouTube link itself of the show running. That'll be
That's what I'm gonna have to do. You know, I just realized I haven't eaten anything since fucking 11 this morning.
Yeah, I haven't eaten yet today.
You just woke up there in upside down land, NotJah.
Yeah. Oh, probably about 3 hours ago now.
Yeah. I made him get up early for this.
Early for a weekend.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Why is this taking so long? Okay, there we go.
Okay, now what's going on?
Fucking Iowin. Well, his post on Twitter at the GE, Caitlin, and Mrs. Snarky, and it's just the article is a picture of dude's butt bent over for something, and it's anal beads cure cancer. God damn.
Oh, no wonder I never got cancer. Wait a minute.
Breakthrough in medical science, the use of anal beads can lessen your chance of certain types of cancer, etc. Oh my God. Jesus.
Wait, is that do you have something fucking going on there, NotJah, that keeps popping up in there?
No.
Oh yeah. Yeah, with the boobs and stuff, like with the commercial or something.
there was a.
Now wait a minute, NotJah, did you put a whole bunch of those GIFs together, or were you just cycling really quickly between them?
No, I'm going a few between a few. Yeah.
Okay, that's what was going on.
Dirty commercial about.
I mean, I came back to the Hangout screen and I see this stuff going on with hot dogs and duck, and it's like, what the hell is going on? I mean, seriously, kids.
Then
I need to inject a bit of humor into the
There's
play.
nothing like Flanders in a ski suit, right?
Yeah. That's too funny. Yeah, Diana, you guys were having that chat, I guess, was it last week, where you were talking about the whole pedophile thing?
Yeah, that was this past Sunday.
Yeah.
Kate and I were doing it.
And how they want to be considered on par with the LGBTQ prop.
Yeah, but they don't. That's the point.
They don't want to?
Right. All of that stuff that you're seeing in the news is fake.
Really? Okay, so
yeah.
They don't want their own fucking flag and all that shit.
Right. You've got it. Mm-hmm.
Now, is that because they don't want to be outed?
Well, no. What's happening is that the fake stuff there is a lot of far-right people, a lot of Tumblr trolls putting this stuff together to give us shit.
To give the LGBTQ community shit.
You got it. Yes.
Oh, so they're trying to paint them with the same brush so they can come down on all of you.
You got it. Yeah, there it is.
Fucking shit. What won't they do?
Oh, yeah, I know. That's what really pisses me off. And then you have people like Ham picking this shit up and just loving every minute of it. He's probably jizzing in his tidy whities. And then there was one. Yeah, I have not set up anything for the weekend, so it looks like there's really not going to be a weekend show for me today, this weekend. But maybe I'll pick it up later. Some guy, I think I was telling you about this earlier, Neil. Some guy in Canada,
yes,
legally changed his gender so he could get cheap auto insurance.
Yes,
and then I don't blame Ham for picking that up because that guy is doing us no favors.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Because he's saying out in public, I am 100% man, but legally I'm a woman, so I can get cheap auto insurance. It's like, if that, number one, if that's not fraudulent, I don't know what is.
It is, and eventually that will come out, and hopefully his ass will get fucking busted.
Well, I hope it comes out damn soon because I saw it in CBS News.
Oh,
there was an article out of CBS News Chicago where this guy was saying, yeah, look at me. So I don't know if the loophole in the Canadian law is such that he can actually do that and get away with it. You know, if there is no fraudulent intent as far as that legislation is concerned. I mean, I hope not.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine our government just saying, "Oh yeah, go ahead," because they want ID and shit for fucking everything.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna want to know that. All right, you're a female. All right, let's see some proof.
Yeah,
you would think, right?
I mean, down here in crazy person land, also known as the USA,
but not all of you are. So
I had to jump through some hoops. I mean, to get the HRT, and that reminds me, I'm going to have to take my wonderful medications very soon here. As soon as I fill up my coffee cup, let me finish this first. To get on the medications, I had to go through a clearance procedure where these people knew that I knew what I was doing. To get my F on my passport and on my driver's license.
Which you have now.
Yes. I had to go through my doctor, and he had to sign off that I had successfully completed a transition.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't need the genital surgery here in the U.S., but as long as the responsible party who is signing this letter knows that you're serious about this, that you're living in your target gender, and this is what you intended to do all the time, then okay, here's the John Hancock, go. But because there have been many problems with people in the past who have just convinced doctors that, okay, I am this, and I want the procedures and everything, and then regret. And that's where you get all this Walt Heyer bullshit from, is because these people were going in on a whim or trend or whatever you want to call it. They think it's fun, and it really isn't. And they find out it isn't fun, and all of a sudden, and then they sue. And
of course,
there's why you've got the controls over this. It's not so much for our sake, even though it is kind of. It's a lot for the physician's sake, because they're going to be financially responsible if somebody says, I regret what you allowed me to do, or you helped me do, or whatever you want to call it, the procedure you gave me. So, yeah, I mean, where you guys are in halfway civilized land, I would think that it would be at least that much. So I want to follow this, because this broke just last week.
Right. Yeah. You know, I have, since you mentioned it, I've heard about it here. So.
Okay. Yeah, the guy is going only, and he's identifying himself only as Dave, for obvious reasons, I think, because he's afraid of people coming after his arse, which I'd be the first in line. I've got the passport. I can go north and I can come back home. I mean, it's in here somewhere. I know it is. I got that passport right after the 2016 election. The organizations involved with us trans folk especially put the word out. If there's any way you can do it, get your passport in your experienced gender now, because we don't know how the rules are going to change. And as far as that goes, I know that the U.S. could revoke my passport at any time and are probably creaming their jeans to do it. But for now, at least I've got it. Cost me $150, and a friend of mine was so gracious as to insist that she pay my way through it. It's like, this is too much. I really hate to accept. It's like, you're going to accept. Okay, fine, thank you. But yeah, it's crazy when it comes to this stuff. I'd really like tighter controls than seem to have been the case in Canada, but halfway sane controls.
Yeah.
Where you're not getting weird like in some states down here. I mean, in Ohio, for example, I can't even get an accurate birth certificate. I'm stuck with my original because they will not change a birth certificate. One of 3 or 4 states in the U.S. that refuse.
Really?
And like I said, I was unfortunate to have been born in Ohio. So, what do you do there? You just do what you can. But everything else has changed over. I'm a girly. Yeah. Until I take off my bra and the tits come off with it, I'd like to do something about that, but my funds are a little low right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard stories about $100,000 to take care of the surgical transition and everything.
Right.
And then I hear from a friend that she paid $25,000. And I'm thinking, when was this?
Yeah.
But no, that was about 16 years ago. So the price may have changed a little bit since then. But
first thing I thought was it was some went to some shifty country to do it, cheap. Like there are some surgeries like that people do.
And it was on the North American continent.
No, that's
because if I remember correctly, she had thought of Thailand, but did not. But I've had a number of friends consider and go to Thailand.
Really?
Yeah. Only recently, I'd say in the last 5 or 6 years, have the number of people I know currently having procedures done had them done on the North American continent rather than in Southeast Asia.
Okay, I wonder why that is. I wonder if it's like the pricing getting.
It may be the pricing, some of it, and some of the service. And one of these days, what I may have to do, if they don't mind, is interview a trans girl or two that I know that would be willing to talk about it, and go through what she went through.
That would be cool.
I know a few female to male trans kids, and I have one of them on also. I know more trans women than trans men.
Right.
Just the way it works out, but I'll have to think about that. I'll have to think about having them on air, because what I had meant to do it this weekend and it hadn't happened. the gender clinic I went to get everything cleared and whatever, there's a direct coordinator of youth services there that I want to interview. So I'll have to give her a call this week.
We were talking about that
Yes.
the other day when you and I were doing the hangout.
Yeah, and then maybe have her on this coming Sunday. If she can make it, and I hope she can.
You mean tomorrow or the following?
No, the following Sunday. Sorry about that. No way could we do anything within a day. I couldn't even get hold of her in time. I have talked to her. She's up for the idea. It's just a matter of getting us scheduled and streamed. And then another thing I'd like to do is go to a couple of the pastors at these welcoming churches, as they call them, Christian churches that are queer friendly.
Right.
And
that'd be interesting. Yeah.
A pastor or two from there interviewed. Number one question: how do you reconcile your friendliness with your faith? And just listen for the answer, because I'm assuming there will be many answers.
Yeah. Oh, and everyone's going to have their own, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, everybody I know is a cafeteria Christian anyway. And, I really don't have that much of a problem with it.
Yeah.
The people I have the problem with are the fundamentalists.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
mainly because it's not that you have a problem with them so much as that they have a problem with you, and that.
Well, I have a problem with them because they have a problem with my sisters and brothers. If I got all that right, the fundamentalists, I have a problem with them because they have a problem with other queers.
Yeah, but that's
If they come after me, I don't give a shit. It's when you come after my sisters and brothers that I'm going to give you a hard time.
But my point was that it's them who actually have an issue with people, and that obviously are your people, and that's why you have the issue with them. It's to the clarity of, if they didn't have their problem, there'd be no problem.
Just
you all right there, Dana?
I know that's like.
Yeah, but it's not the same reason. It's the same reason, but not the same stuff. The bottom of the bowl was packed with tobacco that was getting full of resin, so I have to clean out the bowl. It was a little bit rough. I even forgot where the hell I was. Where was I? Somewhere in Pennsylvania.
Well, hope you survived that.
Yeah, I know I should quit. I'd have one advantage up if I did. It's amazing how many people that you would like to talk to don't like it when you were a smoker. And yeah, I know. I mean, this was one of the worst decisions I made in a life full of bad decisions. But I was an idiot. I started smoking when I was 12.
It happens.
12 or
13. Yeah, I think I was around the same.
I mucked around with smoking at that age, but I didn't actually start until I was probably 17 or 18 or something.
Okay. Because I was a regular smoker in high school. And here, the high school started, well, the way the system I was in, there was the elementary school that went through 8th grade. Then let's see, I'm sorry, no, it went through sixth grade. 7th, 8th, and 9th were junior high school. Other people call it middle school. And then 10, 11, 12 were high school.
Right. Casey, your phone should work because I jump in these on my phone.
Wait a minute, is Casey out there?
All the time. Well, Casey Atheist, not Caitlin. I wasn't sure either.
Casey, how you doing?
I had to ask NotJah in private message.
Hey, you don't know until you know.
Okay, so Casey's gonna do the dishes and then jump in.
Okay.
I was gonna say
and,
do mine too, but I already did them.
and I was going to say, for once, I'm not the one who does the inviting, but yeah, I actually can because I've got the link, but I'll leave that to you, hon. This is one of the streams I've in that hasn't been one of my own. I kind of like the vacation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it is a bit like that, man. You can sit back and enjoy it.
Oh, and Shane.
Put all the pressure on Neil.
Shane. Hey, yeah, that's okay. I'm fine with pressure. Shane, you're not boring, right? So if you want to join, even if you don't have much to say, you can just hang out with us, right? You pop in put in whatever you want every now and again. So I say, come join us if you want.
Pull out, put it in, pull it out.
You could say,
here we go.
Hi, wankers.
Oh, it's always got to go that way at some point.
I had to.
Why? I'm going to have to look at how things are set up in here. If I get too close to the coffee machine, I start going out of range. And that's not good.
There.
Yeah, well, I'm always
something's on fire over there. Oh no!
Where do you see?
There was smoke.
Might have just been like a bit of steam or something. It might be the pipe or.
There was smoke there, like right over here somewhere.
Near your desk, near your monitor.
Yeah.
Oh, I see I know what you're seeing. I knocked the embers out of my pipe, and you're seeing that smoke.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I see what you're talking about. Yeah, no, I'm always smelling things on fire when I'm in here.
Neil was like a little boy when he's like, fire, fire, fireman, fire, fire.
No, I was the one.
No, it's just the stove, honey. It's okay.
And I will remind all of you, it is definitely
I was a pyro as a kid.
I was pretty bad like that too, actually.
I still am a pyro. It is definitely unethical to yell movie in a crowded firehouse.
Oh, absolutely.
Always remember that.
I mean, yeah, that's just one of the main social rules. Everyone knows that.
But around here, I'm smelling burnt toast. I'm smelling burnt steaks, and I'm doing none of it. But it's all permeating the building. And when are these people going to learn how to cook?
See,
well, to be honest,
that's the exact feeling I get when I smell burnt coffee. Why can't people make good coffee? How hard is it? It's not hard at all. Yet you go along and you'll smell burnt coffee. Because I do jobs in people's houses. The other day they had a fucking Butte coffee machine. Like you could do pro quality coffee, and they would just let
one of those guys.
I'm like, what are you doing? You had so much potential, and you just burn it to. I couldn't even stand the smell. It went through the whole house, and it was so strong of that burnt coffee smell. Not that aroma, but just burnt.
I know what this is.
Oh, and it was bad. So I just rambled there about coffee.
Yeah, I mean, coffee is. I've got one of those 35-cup West Bend coffee makers. All you do is throw the water in, you throw the coffee, and you turn it on, and you wait for 15 minutes, and it's done. But to be fair, as far as people knowing how to cook, I have to admit that in the neighborhood I'm in, and the buildings I'm in, a lot of people cannot afford the cooking equipment, let alone have learned how to use it.
Yeah.
I sent you another message, NotJah, just FYI.
My friend upstairs
Okey-doke.
is basically looking at 4 walls because she doesn't have anything, because she can't afford anything. She might have, like for cooking equipment, she might have one skillet, maybe a toaster, and that's it. I mean, the people around here are so poor that they really can't afford to equip a kitchen, which is sad.
Right. Yeah.
But that's the way it works down here in the U.S. In give me mine and give me yours land.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's many people like that. However, I still think that there's more of us than them. Like more. What I mean by that is decent people. There's more of us than them.
I could hold out the hope. But like my dear friend says, faith and hope are shit. I'll paraphrase. Honey, will you leave my computer cleaning solutions alone? Sylvia's trying to steal my cleaning solutions. But the person responsible for your T-shirt, Neil.
Yes.
It's all faith is a bunch of crap, and I'm inclined to believe it sometimes. I want.
Well, it depends. It depends on what you mean. When you say faith, are you using it in the colloquial, like trust and confidence kind of thing, or do you mean like you just have to have faith that God is there? Which is why I say faith is not knowledge, because you need to have faith because you don't actually know. You know what I mean? So
well, the faith I would be willing. Honey, will you put that bag down? For Christ's sake. My cat is a thief. If there's something laying around, she'll steal it. No, I almost would like to use the word faith when you come to the thing about trust, fidelity, that sort of thing. But
fidelity?
As in faithfulness.
Oh, faithful. Well, that's different, though.
Well, kind of. It's the same root. But when you have the perversion of the usage by the fundamentalists.
Well, you got to remember, they invented the word faith. The faith was invented by religious people because of what I always say. They couldn't call it knowledge, so they had to call it faith. Oh, I don't know, but I have faith that he's there.
That's the kind of faith I hate. The religious faith. The believe it because I told you to. Or the accept it because I told you to. Or as they told me when unfortunately I had to go through Catholic school those number of years. It's a mystery. Just take it. Just accept it. And it's what good is that? That's not knowledge. I don't know how it works, or I don't know how it works. You're just telling me to take it on your word. That's nothing. And that's one thing, Dr. Jones. I don't know how many people are looking in here, and I don't know who they are right offhand. We've got 8 watching now. Some of you, I think everybody I see in the side chat knows about my association with NCG Studios. But if anybody doesn't, for future generations, if you watch this thing, Dr. Jones, the guy who runs it, he's a dear man. I consider him a dear friend. But he cannot wrap his head around this misusage, this perversion of the word faith by the fundamentalists, the evangelicals. And that's exactly the kind of faith that I oppose. They do it because I said so. Accept it because I said so. And he's, well, that's not what faith is. That's not what faith is. I know, Dr. Jones, but that's what they're feeding their flocks. And their flocks vote.
Yeah. I get that for sure. It's kind of frightening, actually.
Yeah, really it is.
Yeah.
And as you said earlier, if they didn't have a problem with us, I wouldn't have a problem with them.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, they do have a problem with us.
They're always saying, so if you're atheists, for people that don't believe in God, you sure talk about God a lot. And I answered a couple of these. I'm like, You know what? We don't actually. We actually, when we're all together, we talk about fucking scotch and issues in politics. We talk about beer, talk about smoking dubs, whatever the case may be. But when you fucking people come in here and start pushing this shit and trying to change laws that are going to take away mine and yours and not just fucking rights, then I start talking about how this is all fucking bullshit and you need to get away from it because look what it's doing to you and look what it's causing you to do because your beliefs influence your fucking actions and your actions have consequences. And I don't want to pay for those fucking consequences. So fuck you.
Yeah. There's one guy I dealt with. He's on Matt's Discord, which is where I discovered him. He's a Christian. He says he's on the liberal side. I wonder. But there was one thing he said, your rights end where mine begin, which is technically correct. However, the usage that he was using came across as my rights end where he starts becoming uncomfortable. And if he doesn't, if he's uncomfortable with my holding hands with another girl, he's going to cause a problem. And no, that's not your rights. You know, you don't have a right to not be uncomfortable. You don't have a right to not be offended. I mean, I don't have those rights either. You know, but when it comes to me, I can, you know, you can offend me or make me as uncomfortable as you want to, right?
Yep.
And then some.
Try.
Because there are states here in the U.S., I cannot remember if they actually got away with it, but I think Michigan is one of them, that wanted to make it possible for even emergency care physicians to deny a person like me care if their strongly held beliefs indicated that I was a horrible person.
That's
simply because of who and what I am.
Yeah.
You know, because, I mean, if, eris forbid, I'm in an automobile wreck with somebody and I'm all twisted up and everything, and they have to pull my pants down, they're going to know that I wasn't called a female at the time of birth. And then now if you're going to have some crazy fundamentalist say, oh, well, that's against my religion, I don't want to take care of this person. If it went across in Michigan and elsewhere, they would be allowed to, you know, let me die or worse.
Mm-hmm.
And there are worse things than death.
Well, yeah, death. Of course there are, because once you're dead, you're dead. So who gives a shit? Yeah,
being alive and wishing you were dead is a lot worse than being dead.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. Exactly what I was just going to say.
I always think of the song One by Metallica.
Yes.
Sums that whole notion up really well.
That's another thing I don't know about is Metallica.
Well, if you really want to know what's worse than death, go listen to the song One. Right? Yeah. It's a heavier edge tune, and I know you're not right into that stuff, but it's a very melodic, decent. The story behind you out. Like, go check it out.
Even if you watch the video clip, that'd be a because you know, if you only want to get one hit and get the meaning to it, like all in one go, just watch the video clip and. You know, even because that way, even if it's not your sort of music and you'll never listen to it again, you don't have to listen to it.
Okay,
again.
You're saying Metallica One. Well, the thing is, I never got into that stuff because when I was young, when I was in junior high school, when I was in high school, my primary interest musically was things like Mozart, Beethoven.
Nice.
I was a weird kid. Well, I'm still weird, but I'm not a kid anymore. And it wasn't until I'm in my 30s that I'm starting to discover things like Led Zeppelin, which I, quote, should have known about, end quote, you know, when I was in my teens. So yeah, that's why I don't know about a lot of this stuff. Yeah, and I'm seeing the thumbnail for the official music video, and it's looking interesting already.
Mm-hmm. It's really
kind
of, yeah. Yeah, what he said.
Really
What was that again, honey? I didn't make that out.
really, really worth it.
Worth it. Okay, fine. We can do this.
If I make some funny noises at any point, it's because I'm racing a MotoGP bike around the Nuremberg ring while I'm talking to you.
Oh, it's not because your girlfriend's under the table. Okay.
I wish it was. But I wish I had a girlfriend.
Wait, I better check, make sure mine's not under there. Oh no, it's just a cat. It's just a
Well,
cat.
I already know I don't have that problem. I mean, girlfriend, what's that?
Yeah, no, that's my issue. See,
I've been alone for what, 9 years now?
Yeah, me too. Just about, yeah.
I've been about 6, 7 years. I'm young, so I shouldn't be alone at this time in my life. But I am.
You're not just a baby.
Okay, I have been in over, I think I lost count at about 156 or something relationships, and I've been married once.
Wait a minute, Neil. What do you count as a relationship? A one-night stand?
No, anything that is over a month.
Oh no, undercut. Oh,
Right.
fuck.
Anything that is over a month, or at least a couple of months, and I've been in many, many, many of them. Let's just say
Okay.
I've
I'll
had,
give you the
all right,
crack for that.
and I'm still by myself. Well, I'm on my own. I always seem to end up that way. So I look at it this way: I'm the common denominator of all of that. So maybe I'm just not relationship material. I don't know.
So I kind of got that impression, and I could probably count my relationships on my two hands. And I already got that impression, but maybe it's not that I gave up. I just couldn't be bothered putting in so much fucking effort.
No, dude,
I'm in
don't
the process of trying to count.
don't even go there, man. Don't even go.
I think we went there. Oh,
I
fuck.
put in
Oh, no.
a lot of effort as they requested, usually in most of the relationships. I was the kind of guy that I hate Valentine's Day, but I would go to a restaurant, reserve a fucking table, have a path of rose petals all the way to our fucking table that I booked ahead of time.
Damn.
And like I did that kind of shit all the time. But once they start getting that, it's like the fucking bar keeps rising, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not fucking Hugh or I'm not fucking what's his name, the millionaire dude.
Howard
Whatever.
Hughes.
Yeah, that's the guy. I'm
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
fucking money falling out of my fucking pocket everywhere, but I do the best I can to keep you happy. And if it's not good enough, then you know what? Bye.
Ultimately,
I mean,
sort of figure
that's my major
if they
problem.
want-
I'm poor. And I've had people turn me down simply because I don't own a motor vehicle because they didn't want to do all the driving to get to me and all that shit.
See, that's a
Okay,
stupid
maybe
reason.
they've got
right?
a point. I don't know.
That's a
But
stupid
it's so
reason.
true but it's so true that it happens because I've had stuff like that too.
I mean, I just had that happen to me last 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I mean, somebody started talking to me, and then it's one of those things that I have to list in the obligatory disclaimer. Yes, I'm a trans woman. Yes, I'm poor. No, I don't own a motor vehicle. Yes, I'm on antidepressants. Though you've got to put those out right in front.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
on
that's the kind of
each
stuff
one
you-
of them, I've had people tell me thanks, but no thanks.
Well, somewhere out there, someone is. I think
That's what they all tell you,
someone
and after a
for
while, it gets to the
everybody.
point where you doubt the veracity of that statement.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
right?
I'm seeing we just sort of got back in contact. I've known her forever, like probably since the late 80s I've known her, but things just never worked out. We tried a little bit and something happened, and I think it was me that happened where I was like, I just got out of a marriage. Maybe I need to be on my own for a while. But anyways, so we just started communicating again, and it looks like something might happen.
Okay.
That'll be nice.
I'm all happy for you, definitely.
She's a pretty lady.
No sarcasm at all.
We have a lot of things in common. We're both nerds. We love the same old school movies like Terminator, that kind of shit. We like the same kind of culture-y stuff. So, and I think that's important when you see someone. You should have similarities, so you're not arguing who gets to watch their favorite shit or who gets to go. Like the stupid things, right? As minimized as that can be, the better off you're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I had one guy.
I mean, very recently there was one where it's just so easy to talk to this person, and I got that indication from that person, toward me as well. And unfortunately, there were a couple of things that got in the way. One of them was distance, another one was age.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because I forget how old I am.
Me too sometimes.
No, I'm serious when I say that.
Yeah, no, I do. And then my body goes, you can't do that anymore.
Well, not necessarily that, but I mean, with all the stuff I'm on, I don't know if any of that works anymore. But speaking of, where did I put that stuff? I think I can. I think I can say it on this channel, but I fear that in some cases I'm anorgasmic because it takes a lot of work anymore.
Well, the equipment doesn't work like it used to. Sorry, NotJah. Go ahead.
Well, number one, I'm old. Number two, I'm on anti-androgens, and I guess the two of them kind of work together to kind of go. You were going to do what?
Sorry, NotJah, go.
And I'm not even talking about the how did George Carlin put it? The standard man on top, get it over with quick, because you're not dealing with a man here. But even there, it's a little difficult at times.
But it can be done. Yeah,
it can be. I know that it can be done.
And that's still good.
Yeah, you got nothing to worry about. What are you talking about?
I was just thinking, because it could be worse if it was more of another medical reason that's causing that. Like that's what you'd really want to be worried about more than anything else.
Yeah. Well, erectile dysfunction, that kind of shit is a medical. And you know what? I'm pretty pleased that I'm going to be 52 very soon. And that's enough out of you. And the wind blows hard enough, and I'm still going to be like, woo! So, I don't have those issues yet, and I'm thankful.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, on wood with the wood.
That was a really bad pun there, NotJah. You know that, right?
Of course you know. That's why you said it.
Got to try and outdo Kate.
And I would expect, hey, good luck with that. Kate's
she's a legend of that.
She is.
Oh, she's amazing.
She's one amazing lady. Okay.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Anyway.
Yeah. Nope. What's your cat up to now? It was climbing on the drapes a while ago, but
that's Sylvia for you. Okay, now she's on the bed. She's probably thinking of complaining that the litter box isn't to her liking.
Oh yeah, you were telling me that the other day.
If you know what that means, yeah. You. I'm talking about you. I went out and bought you new cat litter. We're going to take care of your box. Just give me a little while, okay?
Cat's like, what did you just fucking... I don't speak human. What are you saying?
Oh, she speaks human very well.
Oh, yeah. Like when you're yelling at her.
She and I will have extended conversations. She's one of two kitties that have had me with whom I could have the extended conversations. Miranda was the other one. And she, I swear, on a stack of copies of the Principia Discordia, I swear to you that she knows what I'm saying. It's not that she knows the syllables I'm saying. She knows the content.
I don't know if you can see, but I'm currently being watched.
I have to look at that. Okay, where are we? Whoops. I keep forgetting.
Right about there.
Fucking hell.
It's difficult. The lighting makes it difficult for me to see.
Oh, I see. Okay, hang on.
It's very dark.
Yeah, it's because I don't have all the lights on. Well, actually, there are no lights over here. So.
Well, that kind of figures then. Okay. Oh, here. There we are. There and there.
And then this one here.
Yeah. So that's why you have. Wait, is that 2 cat trees or is that 1 cat tree and 1 fan?
It's There's a cat tree here. That's just a bunch of boxes with a cat hidey hole in it, and these are chairs.
And that white thing, is that a tower fan? To your
That's
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that here. This one.
Yeah.
That's a fan.
Yeah. So it's they might think it's a scratching post from time to time, but it's not in its intended use.
Actually, that's something, a cat toy that we let them play with all the time. It's like this, but this thing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
A lot of times I like to wear it. And come and do, like 2 gigantic eyeballs. And they hate it when I do that.
Reminds me of the Frank Zappa song called Cheapness.
I fucking love Zappa.
He was a master.
Oh,
really.
Yeah.
Wish I could have met him. Because as far as I could pick up, he was a brilliant son of a bitch.
Actually, when I was in Greece, this is back probably 84, I think. I was in Greece, and we went to Mykonos. We were island hopping, and we spent a couple nights on Mykonos. And there was an artist there that did T-shirt graphics. He had a little spray thing, and he'd do T-shirts, and he went by the name Zappa. And I thought, whoa, that's kind of cool. So we met this guy, and we went back to his place, the girl that I was with at the time. And we're hanging out at his place, smoking hash tubes and drinking some beer and stuff like that. And he shows me this picture. Oh, by the way, he looked like identical to the actual Zappa too. And he showed me
what's coming. I can tell you what's coming.
Him on the wall with Frank Zappa, and he's like, "Guess which one's me?" I'm like, "Dude, I have no clue," because they look identical. And that's why. And then Zappa actually officially said, "Go ahead, use my name when you sign your art." He goes, "Yeah, I will." Awesome. Yeah.
Oh, so they were not related because Zappa was his family name.
Yes, no, I know that. They're not related. Everyone told him he looked like Zappa, so he went by the pen name Zappa when he did his art.
Okay.
I can't. What was his name? His name started with a C. I can't remember, but dude, it was a long time ago, and that's many doobies ago.
When it comes to Greek names, you just throw out a bunch of Hellenic alphabet soup letters onto a table, and there's the name.
Yeah, and then end it with Anopolis.
Yes. Yeah, why is it that about 90% of all Greek names end in opolis?
Well, it's always something OUS or something, because my old boss's name was Shrunus. There's all kinds of names, but yeah, they all seem to end in OUS or something.
Oh, well. A friend whose last name it was Greek, and they ended up shortening it. The shortened version was still pretty confusing to remember. I'm not going to say it because it'll out them, but the short one was still confusing. And I remember them telling me the original, and it did end up with a few of those Opolysis things. There was a few in there. It was like a page long of a last name.
It's like 47 consonants followed by 3 vowels.
Pretty much.
What's a vowel?
Yeah. And that weird one that kind of goes like this with a circle and all the math symbols.
Yeah.
And then when
your name is a math problem.
When it comes to the names in the family I grew up in, oh God, a bunch of Slovaks and Polacks. So the names were like 37 consonants. No vowel. It's just consonants. And that's a Polish name. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I work with a Polish fella, and every time I go fishing, he's like, "You got to catch me some mackerel, or some not mackerel. What was that? Walleye. He wants walleye." I'm like, "Dude, there's no walleye in BC. You got to go to the interior of Canada. You got to go like into the fucking prairie provinces to catch walleye."
Oh, do you get walleye up there? Okay, because
yeah, we do.
What I remembered was walleye in the Great Lakes.
Well, here we have usually what I fish for. If I'm not ocean fishing, I go for salmon over there, or cod or something. But we don't get the same kind of cod here as we do on the East Coast. The East Coast stuff's
Right.
much better. But we do, however, get lots of river trout, rainbow trout, stuff like that. And I love trout as much as I love salmon because it's pretty much the freshwater version of salmon, really. They're just a little smaller, and they're very similar. Pink meat, tastes almost identical. And we get some pike, and we get some bass, and we get, which is also good. But I'm a trout kind of guy. Actually, I caught about 12 of them on the last trip. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're only little guys, right? They're 8, 10 inch, but good enough.
I remember going bass fishing with one of my uncles.
Good sport.
We'd get up at 4 a.m, cold anchovy pizza for breakfast. Load up his boat with, say about 4 rods and reels, that sort of thing. A couple cases of beer, box of cigars. We're out in a lake, casting lines, drinking beer, smoking cigars. I'm 14.
Perfect. You got to learn sometime, right?
Yeah, I reckon. Sounds like the country life, to be honest.
Yeah.
I grew up doing probably less the smoking than the drinking, though.
But yeah, Uncle Frank was a very interesting character.
Uncle Frank. My dad's name was Frank.
Yeah, this guy was Frank Delarchik. Very nice Irish name. Anything with.
Do you guys mind if I fuck off and have a quick cigarette real quick and then come back?
Oh, you're not allowed to smoke in the house. Okay.
No, this apartment unfortunately is non-smoking.
Oh, so's this one,
but fuck them. You see, I can't do that because my roommate doesn't smoke, and if she found out I was smoking in here, I would have several boots shoved up my ass. So, and I'm not going to argue. All right, I did well. Her and I, my roommate that I have now, her and I dated back in '87 for a couple of years, and she knows how to use butterfly knives very well. I'm not arguing with this lady. So I will be right back.
Alrighty.
Okay.
We'll be back after this message.
Yeah, we'll be right back after these messages.
Yeah, I can still use the voice. I really can.
Doesn't take me long to fill my lungs with cancerous products anyway. So.
Oh God, I should quit. That would have been one fewer tick against me a little while ago, but that's okay, I guess. One of these years I'll end up quitting. Probably I'll be dead. That's how I'll quit.
Yeah, that's how you quit. Yeah. I really hope I manage to kick it, because I'm not kick the habit, that is, not kick the bucket. It's just, I don't know. I don't get anything out of it anymore. I really don't.
No, I just reach for it because I'm reaching for it.
Exactly. It's kind of, I feel almost the same with drinking now. Like after I've had a couple drinks, I don't really enjoy them anymore after that. And yet I'll still just keep reaching for it because I've run out.
Well, with me, sometimes I'll think, gee, it would be nice to pour a shot. And then I'm ready to go to bed, and it's, I never poured that shot, did I? I'm not kidding when I say that there's booze everywhere and I forget to drink it.
Yeah.
It sounds like a joke, and it is kind of a joke, but it's not. And now if I could just do that with this, we'd be okay. It'd be cheaper. I'd save what? Yeah. $20 a month. Because a $25 bag of tobacco will last me 6 weeks. So yeah, maybe 20 a month or something like that. I don't know. I don't smoke cigarettes.
Talking about price of tobacco at one point. It's way expensive here compared.
Yeah, and here it isn't all that great either. So you're.
Oh shit! I better focus. Oh shit! Oh Jesus! It's all good. I didn't crash. I'm still okay.
Are you old?
No, I was paying. I was like drifting while I'm riding a bike at like 300 kilometers an hour down a really tight German circuit, because I was focusing on the conversation, and then a really sharp corner started coming up, and I started shitting myself because I thought I was going to crash because I was coming into it way too fast. And I've done really good. I've been riding this track now for 20 odd minutes almost, and I haven't even come off and my bike. Like I'm nailing this. So that was my biggest moment of freak out.
Okay, well, at least you're not putting your pink body on the line, okay?
Yeah, I love my motorbikes, and I'd probably be a biker when I can buy one, but I wouldn't be doing this sort of biking. I'm not that crazy. Other people that do it, that, you know, if they want to take that risk, they're awesome. They're fucking amazing, but it's not for me. I'd be in a car more than anything. If I was doing racing, I'd be in some sort of car, because they have big metal roll bars and cages around your body. You know, like
yeah,
and crumple zones and stuff, like when you crash. Slightly more of a chance to survive.
And then there's this cat. I wonder if I could use the cat as a crumple zone.
I don't think it would suffice. It would definitely crumple, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Good Lord. Oh, my God, too wide. Almost. I've lost
are a
so
kiddiness.
much time on this.
It's a kiddiness.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
I forget what that is. All right. Some of this stuff is just going to have to go bye-bye. What, dear? What? Is you want attention? Is that what you want? Of course, that's what you want.
Oh,
now you're all
that's
happy.
not what I wanted to do. That, and then that, and that works. So,
I hear Neil.
Oh, is Neil coming back?
I think so.
Neil!
I heard what I thought was a Neil.
You know, maybe he's roaming around. Do, do, no, no, no. Do, no, no, no. Do, no. Oh, Lord, I gotta stand up. My legs are killing me. Oh, damn. I need somebody to come and give me a massage.
Oh, that was the funniest thing I saw. There was a tweet that went out about a video, or no, about a planned video. Chess was putting this thing out, and if you want to come in, the word was spelled Massage, me. I know what she meant.
Oh, goddamn.
But we're talking about chess here, and it's easy to.
Maybe she did. Maybe she did it on purpose. You know.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You know.
Yeah. Oh, she's a funny girl.
She's a sweetie.
They were going at it for a bit before. I mean, in their loving way, of course, her and Faye.
Oh yeah, yeah. Faye's a little concerned, but
yeah,
with any degree of luck, everything will turn out okay.
Oh, that'll be fine.
Yeah, we've had all sorts of fun in the community over these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, but oh well. We are a dysfunctional family.
Yeah, I was gonna say sometimes you think it's the best kind, but maybe it's the only kind.
It is. Every family is dysfunctional one way or another.
Yeah.
And there's this dysfunctional kitty over here. Yeah, you.
That kitty gets more airtime than you do.
Yeah, I swear the only reason I have subs is so they can see her.
Oh yeah, no. All the people that sub to any chick's YouTube account, it's just to see their pussy.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I just noticed Shane put Shane's dad's name is Frank too.
Mm.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, wow. Well, my father passed away a while ago, which is why I started the Partners for Life group, blood donor group.
Yes.
Yeah.
That might deserve a plug.
Yeah. I was
well,
plug it.
Yeah, actually, if you live in Canada, you can join the Partners for Life group. That is FRAN 012610. And if you go and you donate, every time you donate, and you tell them that you want to join this group, every time you donate, it gets credited to the Partners for Life group. And this year, I think we're already on track to break 500 this year. So that's
nice.
That's pretty good. We're at 430 something, I think, and I'll find out probably in January what our totals are. We break 450 every year, easy. So
yeah, I was going to say, what was it that first year when we were talking about the group?
Oh well,
you shattered every record in Canada or something.
Not quite, but what had happened when I first put the group together, they said, okay, so you have to make a pledge for the amount of donations you feel your group will garner over the year. And I said, well, we'll break my dad's number, which was 532 at the time. Well, that was his total when he passed, was 532. And I said, we'll break his numbers. And they were kind of like, that's never happened in Canadian history. So you might want to go for something a little bit more conservative. We'll say maybe 50 donations. And I said, well, you can write that down if you want, but I'm telling you right now that we're going to break that. And when the year ended, our totals were 681 donations. So
that is fucking nice. That is beautiful.
And we broke my original pledge by 1,240%, apparently. So they had a cake for me, and then I was on the news again. And I've been on there a few times for this, just trying to get donors to join up. So I have the largest single person started Partners for Life group in Canada. That's what you're referring to. So.
Okay. I got you now.
And we are technically, I think we're the third highest in BC. So that's not too bad. It's something I'm pretty proud of. And I don't know if any of my donors will ever see this video, but I'm proud of all you guys for doing it. And I think I got someone else to join just on Wednesday when I did my 40th donation, which I've now pinned to my Twitter profile, the picture I put there. Because as per tradition, I always take a selfie with my dad's picture on the wall, right? So he's always over there over my shoulder.
Okay, so that's 40th lifetime, that's right?
Cool.
40th, yeah.
Because you can only donate, what, about 6 or 7 times a year?
If you're doing whole blood, yes. It's every 7 weeks. You can go every 2 weeks if you're doing the platelet thing.
Yeah, which I used to do.
Yeah, you were telling me. Yeah.
I'm going to have to check into that and see if they will let me do it again. For a while, they wouldn't because of, I'm a trans woman, and they would call me MSM, which is men having sex with men. And that really fits, doesn't it? Because neither one really applies to me.
No, it's literally the opposite.
Yeah.
Hang on, we got Hans in here whose stepdad's name is Frank. And like he said, this is getting a little weird. He says, it's like, well, hey, I'll be frank with you.
Oh.
Yes, it quite is.
Anyway.
Hans, would you like to join us? Because I can send you the link if you want. That's if I'm following you on Twitter. I'm not even sure if I'm following you on Twitter. I don't remember everyone.
Twitter, I think he's PS Hans Hansen. Is that it, Hun?
He's not going to hear that for a few minutes. So. Come on, Shane. I sent you a link. You should be joining us.
P.S. Hansen.
Yeah.
I had it reversed. Okay.
Okay. So then I'm not sure. I don't know if I am following him. So let's search Twitter. Oh no, it says we follow each other.
Oh, good. Because Hans is a sweetie. He is an absolute sweetie.
What else have I got?
Yeah, I guess I can.
I'm not good now.
I guess I can get rid of my copy of Poser 4, can't I? Because I think it's on Poser 319 by now. And I don't even run Windows. Yes, I used to try to do animations, and I was shitty at it.
Let's do a message to Hans, and I'll send you Hans. I'm going to send you a link.
Yeah. What do we have over here? We're just going to see. Outlook 98. What the hell am I doing with Outlook 98?
Yeah, I don't think that's relevant.
All right, Hans, I'm going to send you a link. You can join us if you want. I would love to have you in here because I don't think I've actually ever talked to you in one of these.
I think only.
I
remember him joining us once.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit easy.
I think, was it on one of Zon's streams?
Yeah. It was just that he finds it easier to communicate through the text, I think, than our streams.
I'm not going to try to sound condescending, but I think it felt like Hans was a little more comfortable with text. Tell me if I'm right or wrong, Hans. Does anybody want a copy of Windows 98 Second Edition?
No.
Maybe your carburetor, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that shit I've been carting around with me.
I know, I got shit like that too, boxes of that old crap. I still have fucking floppy disks, including 5-inch floppy disks.
Oh, man, do you have any 8-inchers?
No, I do not.
I used to work with 8-inchers years and years and years ago. Shows you how long I've been in the field.
Yeah, I think I came in
back
just
around
after
80.
this. Well, fuck, man, we used to do punch cards.
I remember those. I remember sitting in an 029 machine. Yeah.
Yeah. They let us do that shit in school.
Oh, Christ.
Uh-oh. What's going on? What did you find?
Windows 95.
Holy crap! There's a fucking coaster.
Oh, for the love of Saint Gulick.
We still have
finding the original Sims game.
Yeah, we've got all the old games, DOS games, all the old floppy disks, and even the computers that ran them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hans,
shit. All this stuff's got to get the hell out.
Hans, if you can't join right now, that's totally fine. We'll have you in one of these days when you're in a better headspace to join us.
We're easy. I don't know about you guys. I'm easy. I am by no means cheap, but I'm easy.
That's gonna say I'm easy, but not cheap.
Yeah. And then there's
it's gonna cost you at least a bottle of this shit. So
there you go.
But I get easier as I keep drinking.
Okay, now here's the thing. The box that is to go away.
Is there a cat in there now?
There is a cat in there now. So I could close the box and take the cat out.
Easiest way to catch a cat. Did you see that meme I posted about catching an Egyptian god? You put it was Bost, yeah. You put the box behind Bost and she gets in it, or he gets in it. All you see is his head sticking out. It's fucking great. Yeah.
Or wait, or let's see if we can do. Meow.
Walk like an Egyptian.
I was just about to start.
There's a place in France where the ladies wear no pants. I don't know.
No, I was thinking. I'm trying to remember the lyrics. The Steve Martin thing, King Tut.
Yeah. Well, that's classic shit. That one and the one he does with Bill Murray on Saturday Night Live, where he's standing there and he's all like, you see him walking by and he looks over and he's like, "What the hell is that? What the hell is that? Oh, I know what that. Wait, what is that?" And then Bill Murray gets in and they're both going, "What the hell is that?" By the end of it all, nobody knows what the hell it is, right? It's too funny.
No, I almost hate to get rid of. I almost hate to get rid of Fnord. On two DVDs is the Linux distribution I designed 20 years ago.
Wow, that's a keep.
Nice. Yeah, you might keep that one.
I might keep that one.
That's fucking definitely keep that. That's a keepsake. Someday, maybe future generations will be like, "What the hell is that thing?"
Yeah,
what's a CD?
They wouldn't even know how to use it. It's built from source.
Did you see that video of the kids trying to use a rotary phone?
Yes.
I've never seen one before.
Yes.
They're like pushing in the holes, and she's like, "No, that's not how you do it. You have to rotary. That's why it's called a rotary phone." So they're like going, like just moving the number a little bit or the little circle. She goes, "No, you got to go all the way around." Like, what the hell is this? What are you talking? You guys had to do this? This is too much work. It's so
I
funny.
remember 2-wire telephone connections.
Yeah.
Where they were not even color coded.
And they were like party lines where you get on and someone else would be already on there and they'd be like, "Oh, hurry up, yes. I gotta make a call." Yeah.
Yep. The slimy bastards had a party line when they first bought the house in Parma.
That's right, kids. We're really fucking old.
Yeah, no, I
and there
remember
was
that myself.
a different ring sequence for each of the houses.
Yeah.
It would ring a different way so you know whose phone it was intended for.
I'm so old, my phone number was 3.
Okay. Well, I actually lived in an area for a while where if you were making an extremely local call, you only had to dial the last 4 numbers.
Yeah.
That was
because the first 3, everyone had the first 3, right?
Yeah. I lived in Belpre, Ohio for a while on the Ohio River, very southern Ohio. And it was such a small thing that, you dialed the last 4 numbers. And I know of somebody who had a sign advertising a place of business and the phone number. And it was almost literally that BR549 from the, what was that country western show called? Hee Haw.
Hee Haw? Yeah.
That
was a
sample.
great show. It was so funny, man. That show was
funny.
Goldie Hawn. Goldie Hawn got her start there.
No, I thought she got her start with Laugh-In.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Laugh-In. That's what I'm thinking of, Laugh-In. No, but Hee Haw was also equally funny. But you're right, Laugh-In is where she wasn't even on fucking Hee Haw. So,
gonna drink a second.
What are you doing, Nasa?
Yeah, what is he doing?
Let's see, fucking Neil woke me up too early on. You back?
Yeah, I'm back, bro.
I thought he was NotJah. Are you back now?
He's not.
Yeah, you can kick me in the arse. Go right ahead. I don't care. Where are we? The hell am I saying? I have no idea what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? I don't.
I got to go to Norway. I want to come to Norway, Hans.
I don't know if I'd survive being up there. I would freeze. Like, I would have to be wearing so many layers that I wouldn't be able to move my body. And even
You'd look
then,
like that fucking. You'd look like the younger brother from Christmas Story, when his mom bundles him up, and every time he falls over, he's like a fucking starfish that can't get up.
Yeah. I
Oh
haven't actually
God!
seen the movie, but I think I've seen that kid that you're talking about because it's what I was.
Yeah, it's a great. It's probably one of my favorite Christmas movies.
If I could find the picture, it's around here somewhere. There was a shot of one of the ISS astronauts getting into an EVA suit, and he was just in the right position, and the whole thing, where I put the little line in the text over it. What is it? I can't put my arms down. You know, one of those things with that kid from the movie.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, she's like trying to push his arms down. And he's like, boing, they keep popping back up. So he's walking to school like this. He's like, wait for me, wait for me. And then he falls over and they have to get him up and shit. It's great.
Because I circulated that one with the guy in the EVA suit. I belong to a couple space-related Facebook groups, and they love that whole thing. And I've got the picture around here somewhere. I'll have to bring it out someday and hang it on the wall. And yay, that'll be my Christmas gift or my Christmas decoration.
Oh, you mean the leg lamp?
The picture of the spacesuit with I can't put my arms down.
Oh. I thought you meant the leg lamp from the movie.
No, I haven't got a leg lamp.
Oh, my buddy has one of those. He ordered it online. And it even comes in a wooden crate, like in the movie, that says fragile on the on the side. Where
Fragile, it must be Italian.
Fragile. Yeah, and it says from Italy underneath there.
Ooh, get it right.
That's so fucking funny, man. Fragile must be Italian.
But what I did find, and I'm definitely holding on to this, the screensaver's worthless, but the pictures.
Ansel Adams.
Yes.
Yeah.
My hero.
Yeah. Fantastic.
I can take the photos off these and use them as root window backgrounds.
Cool.
Because he's my favorite photographer of all time.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. He's awesome.
I mean, if I had half his talent.
With Hans.
I couldn't be a good photographer if I tried. Huh? What's that, Hans? Oh.
I was just reading what Hans wrote. I love the way it reads. It's mostly boring here and costs a lot, but the polar bears are pretty nice.
Yeah, until they're mauling you.
Where's it saying this? Is it saying this in the side chat?
Yeah, it's saying it in the side chat. Yeah, he's talking about polar bears in Norway. Oh yeah, I guess they do have polar bears. I'm thinking because I live in Canada, right? And up north there, we got lots of fucking polar bears. But they're running out of fucking habitat now because all the ice is melting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And whatever happened to that gigantic chunk of ice that broke off and was apparently floating south towards like New York and shit?
I don't know. I haven't kept up on it.
I thought. Or at least the majority. I don't know, but I would have just assumed it would have melted.
I think a majority of it did, and that's what was so concerning, right? Because they were concerned that levels would rise more than they should around this time. So.
Yeah.
Oh, because the melt rate was too high.
Yeah, the fucking piece was huge, man. It could have been its own state. That's how big it was.
It was like the state of Maine or some bullshit.
I think it came somewhere off of Greenland. And started floating south or somewhere around there. I don't know. I just remember hearing about it and I was like, oh, good Lord. I hope the guys on the East Coast have their water wings.
Well, the barrier islands off the Carolinas are sinking already or submerging already. There are environmentalists scrambling to get work done before it's underwater.
And the Keys, too, apparently in Florida are having issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, but climate change is a fucking hoax.
Yeah, from the Chinese.
Yeah, fucking idiots. Anyway.
And I'll tell you, this is one of the reasons I'm rather happy that I have more life behind me than ahead of me.
Yeah, so do I. That's why it's. How old are you?
Ruin the planet on me. Just short of 30. Let's put it that way.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you're not the spring chicken you once were, sir.
Oh, no.
Spring chicken left my vocabulary many moons ago.
I could still be his mother.
Yep.
Technically, I could be your dad too.
Technically.
Yeah. Start early enough.
Yeah, sure. 22, I would have had to have been if you're close to 30, right?
I mean, that's not even early for nowadays.
No, it's not. You know, rumor has it I have a kid, but I remember hearing a girl I dated many, many, many years ago. I remember she stopped communicating with me just out of the blue, and I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" And I even went over there, tried to get her to come down and talk to me, but her mom was throwing shit at me out the window. Because, you know, I think every girl I've ever dated, their parents thought I was pretty much Satan at the time. So,
well,
she doesn't want to talk to you and throwing shit out the window. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Why'd she? And a friend of mine who allegedly talked to her said that I had gotten her pregnant. And from what I'm to understand is she had a fairly trying labor and almost died. So, and I'm like, really? What the fuck? But she's never ever communicated with me since that time. And even though I tried, nothing ever happened. And I would have been one of those stand-up guys that would have been with her if that was the case. But so who knows?
So I
could have a kid.
I'm starting to wonder if it was her idea to not communicate with you.
Maybe. I think it might have been her mom's, to be honest.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
I don't think she liked me. I never really met the lady often, like maybe once. And she judged me right away. I think her mom was somewhat religious, so maybe that might have had something to do with it. And by that point,
of Satan over there, yeah.
By that point, I'd already kicked religion to the side in favor of other weird-ass pagan bullshit. But that's another story. I'm going to do my own deconversion story at some point.
So are you going to interview yourself on a split screen?
Oh, God,
that's a great idea.
Too quick for me, Diana.
So when did it all start happening for you?
Kidneys. It takes kidneys, guys.
Well, you know, I was quite young when it first started happening. Is there anything specific you want to say? Yeah, we were kind of wondering what the first thing you noticed to kind of make you go, Well, you know, I could do one of those things, right?
OBS and 2 cameras, and you were there.
Yeah. I've never used OBS, and I'm interested in figuring it out.
It's not that difficult. It was a lot less difficult than I thought it would be.
For some people, it's very easy. For others, it's a pain in the fucking ass.
Well, I had a little help from Nadine, so I got primed there. And
then she's still struggling to help me.
Now, if you're listening, Nadine, I'm not complaining. One of the problems I personally had was Nadine is a lot like, do it, thus, and so, and it works. You know, let's just get the job done. Here's what you need. Which that day, that was my birthday. She was setting me up. And okay, you know, you do that for just to get the thing out. But getting sort of gently nudged along to do this sort of thing, that's when my panic started hitting. And I hadn't realized that I was still susceptible to panic attacks. And I could tell.
I get one from time to time.
Nadine was getting a little short with me, and I can understand why. But that was my earlier comment about the Klonopin, is that it's become apparent that I may have to go back on, which is not my idea of a good time. But
you got to do what's good for you. You don't want that shit.
Yeah.
Right? And remember, Diana, man, if you ever are feeling like you need someone there just to talk to, I'll drop whatever. Even if I'm at work, I'll fucking talk to you if you need it.
Will you drop a heavy hammer onto your toe? You said you drop whatever. Sorry, I'm a smart ass. I know.
No, I could. I'd consider it if it made someone feel better.
And the problem with that, I mean, if we're gonna get into that sort of conversation, which I don't mind getting into, the problem I have, you guys are great. You guys are absolutely wonderful. Unfortunately, you're not here.
We are a million miles away.
That face-to-face thing is
you're right.
really important to me.
It adds to it.
And
sure.
I mean,
I agree.
Yeah.
I love you guys. I sincerely do.
Well, feelings mutual, just so you know.
I'm not going to kick you to the curb or anything, but you do have that wish where you could just be sitting at the dining room table over coffee and talking one-on-one.
Yeah, because you never know when an emergency hug is going to be in need, right?
You got it. And that's around here what is severely lacking, especially when you're dealing with somebody like me. I'm weird. I know I'm weird. I love being weird.
You're unique. There's a difference.
Yeah, but the word weird can be a good thing too. So I like using the word.
Yeah, you open the mouth and the sesquipedalian vocabulary falls out and they run. And that was what I so dearly love about.
NotJah, you've never seen fucking snow?
No, not in the real life, no.
All right, I'm gonna find a special cooler and I'll send you some.
Oh well, because I know you can make your own snow, and I'm like, yeah, one day I'll do that, But I just wanted to sort of do the whole snow experience, snowballs and stuff.
Shaved ice works in a pinch, but it's not quite the same thing.
Dude, save up some cash, fly up here, and I'll take you up to Whistler.
Oh God,
Price, what would awesome. What would it cost to go from Australia to BC?
Probably
$1,000 one way. Say again.
Many thousands of dollars.
Okay,
you mean Australian dollars? Because it costs us.
Well, it'll convert back.
It costs us about 1,400 Canadian for a return trip to Australia. 1,400 or 1,500, somewhere like that. I could come up with that if need be. So I'll tell you what, if I end up coming down there, I'm dragging your fucking ass back this way.
Well, you've got it a little easier than I would have it. Because you could just take the Trans-Pacific route. I mean, you're already at what's your longitude?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm at the 49th parallel or something?
Well, that's latitude.
Oh, sorry. Right. Sorry.
I'm thinking of how many degrees away. Yeah, I'm thinking of how many degrees away you are from NotJah. And then you and I are, I think, 90 degrees apart. No, not 90 degrees, or is it 60?
If I want to get to Vancouver,
we're 3 time zones apart, so we're 45 degrees apart.
Something like that, yeah.
Just under $2,000 one way by the looks of it.
One way, $3,000, 3 Australian though?
2.
Wow.
2, just under 2.
Do you get a discount on the return trip?
What? You're right, because mine should have been doubled too. It's not 1,500 return. I just double checking, and it says it's almost 1,500 one way.
One way, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
so
that's still
double
the whole and yeah, one day, but at the moment, that's sort of like money that I'd end up putting into priorities like fixing my teeth or fixing my car or all sorts of other things like that.
Fixing your teeth? You're Australian, not British.
No, but I'm a Queenslander and not New South Wales.
Okay.
They still have small differences. But the worst thing really is it's a nationwide, and it's a lot of places that have this problem where dental care is not covered under healthcare. So we have all the healthcare benefits, but dental care is just not covered, and it's ridiculous, and it's so expensive to get dental care.
Oh, it is, absolutely. The company I work for covers 80%. So, and we also have a little deal where you bring the overage charges in, and they'll even reimburse you for that through the company itself, not the insurance. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's all right then.
Yeah. So I've got dental, I've got medical, I've got everything I need, and it's a very good job. Pays me well. So I guess it's hard to find decent analytical chemists or something, but because I don't even consider myself that decent of one. I'm an all right one. I can do my job whenever need be, but there's probably better candidates than me.
But how many people end up getting through the courses and then not deciding to go further into something else? You know, like, is it one of those sort of matters? Because I know a lot of things like that are in the criminology field where people will get to a certain point where there's lots of job offers and they could get lots of work, but they don't want that work. They're like aiming, I want to, now that I'm here, I may as well get, this as well, and end up doing this for a job instead. And so there's a lot of this placement that just gets missed completely.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really unfortunate.
I was lucky because when I was first hired, the company was called M&R Environmental, and it was run by my old summer camp boss, or summer camp counselor, and he became my boss. So I got in. It's almost nepotism, you know what I mean? But and he said, "Do you know much chemistry?" And I said, "Well, I took a course after high school on chemistry because I was very good at it in high school. I got A's all throughout. So I learned some of the basic shit." I go, "What do you need?" He goes, "Well, I need someone to run tests on our waste oil and our waste antifreeze and stuff like that." And I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it?" He goes, "We're going gas chromatography to start, and then we added in the ICAP spectrometer and whatnot." Which I didn't know how to use a spectrometer at the time, but we were put through a course. They paid for it all, and now I know how to do that shit. But I already know the elements and all that shit, right? So, yeah. Anyways, I ended up doing that for them, and I've been doing that for years, and they pay very well, so I can't complain. It's just my expenses are high, so I paid my car off finally, so that's one expense gone. But yeah, but shit gets. Of course, my hobbies swallow a lot of my money too, right? When you're paying over $40 to $50 for one fucking card in the game you're playing, that can run. that can run a little. Oh yeah, there's some cards when they come out, their rarity is so high that if you want to play the game in the top tier decks, you need to spend $100 on one card. I don't.
This is why I only buy these games.
I can't help it. I love them. I'm into the strategy-based trading card games, man. I used to play Magic, and now I'm playing fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Thanks to my ex-wife, kids.
That's fair enough.
And it's fun, and I don't blow that much cash. I spent to buy the deck that I currently play some years ago.
It was only $1,500, right?
No. It was just over 1/3 of that. It was just under $600 to buy the one deck.
Yeah, that's still a lot, though.
Yeah, I bought it.
But I mean, that's it. It's a passion thing,
Yeah, I mean, $600 would feed me for about 4 months.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is I never have to worry about going hungry because my mom says, if you're ever hungry, you come to my house and there's always food in the fridge. Okay, thanks, Mom. Yeah. Yeah. Moms are like that. Now, you know what? I was actually lucky enough to have 2 for a while until my biological mom passed away. So, yeah, I was adopted. So, and I met them in the year 2000, and everything was great.
In the position I was in, one mom was one too many.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Some people get lucky and some people don't.
Yeah, I always say I feel extremely extremely, I don't know a better word off the top of my head, but we'll say blessed to have two great moms for as long as I
grateful. Would grateful be a good
Yeah,
word?
would work.
Grateful would be, yeah, grateful or just, yeah. Because both of them were fantastic.
You weren't there. I was talking to Artie when I first started my private stream, and you will sometimes hear me refer to the slimy bastards or the MSB and the FSB. Those refer to the two people that the rest of the world called my parents. I discovered that I had no parents. But yeah, they're the slimy bastards. That's the two of them. MSB is the male slimy bastard. FSB is the female slimy bastard. His last words to me were, "You humiliate us." Her last words to me were, "Goodbye." That's when I came out. So the world is much better off without them. I found out.
Reese likes my Epistovus shirt.
Yeah, where did you go to get that, Neil? I want one.
Evolvefish.com.
Okay, fine. I'll go there.
Yeah, just all of Aaron Raw's shirts are there. Actually, Aaron Raw sent me a shirt and he autographed it for me, so that was pretty cool.
You lucky piece of shit.
Well, I'm his patron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I take it, though, that you are not an Epistovist level patron.
I am not an Epistovist level. That's $100 or higher. I'm the greater input $20 guy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, I bought this one myself because I fucking love it and had to have one. And
yeah.
Aaron sent me the T-shirt that says, what is it? Science doesn't know everything. Religion doesn't know anything. And then he signed it. So.
Oh, he's a big sweetie. I've had a chance to talk to him. I want to meet him in the flesh. I'm gonna buy him a beer, sit down, just talk about shit. But he told me just to not let it get out. But screw you, Aaron. He is the biggest sweetie I've ever known.
Well, I've been in a hangout with him, and he's very, very cool. I'm definitely going to go down there, and I already told him that. I said, I'm fucking coming down there, and we're going to drink some serious fucking beers. And he asked me if I had a bike. Yeah, he asked me if I had a bike, too, and I'm like, yeah, I did. I have had two, actually, in my time. Way back in the old days, like in the early 80s, I had a Suzuki 650 piece of shit. And then I had a Shadow for a couple of years, but yeah, I couldn't keep them. I was, jumping from house to house. I lived out of my car at the time. At some points, fucking, it was bad back then. But things got better, obviously, because I'm doing all right now.
That's a good thing.
Yep. Yeah, the things don't always run fucking yellow brick road gold shit for everyone all the time, right? So, and I had a falling out with my father at the time, and we didn't speak for 4 years.
Okay.
Probably because I finally stopped taking his shit and just picked him up with one hand and held him up on the wall. And I'm like, you ain't hitting me no more, old man. Because when I was younger, that was not saying that it was okay, but that's just the way it was back then. Like he'd take his shit out on me.
Yeah, it's not a fun thing.
Yeah.
No.
It was common, eh?
Yeah. But, I mean, there was one time when my sister and my mom literally thought he was going to kill me. Okay. I was about 12 years old, and he had me trapped underneath some fucking shelf in a cupboard, and he was just laying on me. And both my mom and my sister were freaking out. They thought he was going to kill me. He didn't, obviously. I'm a zombie. But, and I don't know why, but I guess it's part of my nature. I never really held that against him, ever. I never held a grudge. But I brought it up one time much, much later, and I saw him start to cry, and we kind of both went in the other room, and I said, look, I know now what you were going through back then, and I'm sorry that you had to go through that shit. And if beating the crap out of me is what it took to make you feel better about it, I don't know. I said, what am I supposed to do now, right? Kick your ass now? That's not going to happen. You're just about 70 years old, right? So, So I hugged him, and I said, don't worry about it, Dad. that was a long time ago. I love you. I always have, even then. But and it's a good thing that we had that talk, because a year later he passed away.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I can't hold grudges, because grudges hurt me more than they hurt the people I'm holding them against.
I wish I had your state of mind. I'm sorry, I still hold a grudge.
Well, I've always said that grudges hurt the grudge holder more.
And those two died not speaking to me. So I didn't find out they were dead until, well, he died September 2000.
Is this your parents you're talking
about? You can call them that if you want.
Okay. Okay.
He died in September 2016. She died in May 2017. I found out they were dead in October 2017 as the result of a random Google search.
You're kidding.
No.
That's the way you found out?
Yes. I would occasionally search on their names.
So you weren't invited to the funerals or anything?
Nothing.
Wow.
The entire family dropped me. There's one cousin that talks to me. They didn't like her either. And
wow. Wow. That boggles my mind. Sorry, Diana.
What do you do? And the way it went down, this is the weird ass thing. Okay, we'll go into the story. It's not a bad thing. I started coming out. I finally got in touch with some of my cousins when my sister had died. The slimy bastards were, I was asking them, hey, can I have addresses, phone numbers, so I can at least send Christmas cards, that sort of thing. They steadfastly refused.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not.
Unbelievable.
So Anne-Marie died 2007. And the ex and I went down to the memorial service, that sort of thing. Some of the cousins were there. And I finally got their particulars and shit. And I started coming out to one cousin-in-law, as I call it, like the wife of a cousin of mine. And she's all, hey, this is great. You're who you are and everything. And this is all happy. And this is wonderful. And you should really tell your folks. And it's like, Marge, you know those two. And it's like, well, you really should. They'll have a hard time, but they'll get over it. Marge, you know what they're like. Well, not because of her prodding, but I eventually came out because they were getting old. They were in their late 80s. I didn't think they had much mileage left. And so they gave me the "you humiliate us, goodbye" thing. And as soon as they did that, everybody else. Yeah.
I'm so sorry you had to go through that, especially with family.
Well, thank you, but you don't know how. You don't. I haven't told the story of how abusive they were before that. Yeah, there's some shit they pulled on. There's some shit they pulled on my sister that wasn't all that great either. But as soon as they dropped me, everybody else did. And later on, I got a message from this cousin-in-law from Marge with, I don't know if you know or care, but your cousin Tom died, and you're such an ass because you're not talking to your folks. And it's like, Marge, they're not talking to me. Okay? I'm staying out of the way simply because they don't want to talk to me. And and she even said she quit talking to me because he started going off to everybody in the family about me, and she didn't want to hear any more of it, so she quit talking to me. Go figure.
Wow.
You might want to not talk to him so you don't hear it, but there's a story behind that too. And it was like, okay, fine. I mean, you can just eat shit and die too. But yeah, I mean, it's the family I came from, if you want to call it that. I can almost guarantee you that the cousins were hanging around because they thought they might get some largesse as far as an inheritance was concerned, because I certainly wasn't going to get any. And I later found out that they had basically divested themselves of everything. She died in a nursing home, so now it makes sense why she sold the house. And I'm thinking, okay, there's nothing left to give the cousins, so how pissed off are they now that they put up with that shit? They're not getting anything out of it anyway. Hey, fuckers!
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I'm happy I didn't. I'm happy I was disowned. No, really, I am. I am on a federal disability income. I get some help from state welfare and from Section 8. And had I received anything from them, I could have screwed all of that up.
Right,
a one-time shot screw up everything. So I'm happy I didn't get anything. And I didn't have to deal with my brother-in-law as far as working out the details of the house which he now owns. It's the one they had bought for my sister. It's like, great, I don't have to put up with all that shit. I'm happy.
Yeah. Well, that's what's important, is ultimately, after all this garbage has happened, that you're happy now. Right?
No, I had 5.5 years. It turned out a little less because he died before that but the 5.5 years until I knew about their deaths anyway. Where I wasn't hearing that everything I did, said, thought, and was wrong simply because I did, said, thought, and was it. So it's like, hey, I win. But what was it that you had said something and I started saying something and I got sidetracked and I forgot? Oh, well.
That's an age thing. I do it too.
Yeah, when you get old, the memory's the second thing to go, and I forget what the first is.
Don't worry, you'll be lying in bed at like 3 a.m, wake up and go, that's what it
was. I do that all the time anyway. I call it other side of the door syndrome. You know, when you're at the doctor's office, or especially when you're in a job interview, and do you have any more questions? And it's like, I can't think of anything. Okay, take care. We'll contact you later. And your door closes behind you. And it's, shit, that's what I wanted to ask. And it's too late now.
Oh, Jen, you inherited a propensity for alcoholism. You're only an alcoholic if you have to go to those meetings. So don't worry about it.
Hey, Jen, great to see you.
Yeah.
Well, Jen, earlier you said, I can only humiliate me. Other people can't humiliate me.
That's right.
That, had I had the chance to say it, would have been what I told him. No, that's what I'm thinking of. Thank you, Jen, for reminding me. That whole "you humiliate us" thing. He was worried. Nobody said it, but I can guarantee you, he was worried that other family members were going to talk about me behind his back the way he talked about them behind their backs. So, because he was one of those. Little thing.
Who's Sylvia?
Sylvia's my kitty.
Oh, duh. I even knew that.
So, there she is. She comes when called, by the way. Get over here.
Are you singing, NotJah?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, you.
That might have been me.
Call to the phone.
Hey, come and be a backup singer, man.
I might do that.
I really wish we had our new stuff recorded so I could play some, because I think most people have heard my old music. If you haven't, you should, because it's really not that bad. And I'm not just saying that because I'm biased, because I'm the vocalist, But I've been told by people, why is this stuff not on the radio? Let's put it that way. We had it professionally recorded, so we're doing our own this time. But my drummer has a portable studio, and he's great at mixing. Let's put it this way: the guy builds his own record players for the old LPs, and he's got over 17,000 records now. So
it's easier than ever now to go indie.
Oh yeah.
I could say friend. She's more an acquaintance than a friend, but she still is somewhat of a friend. Has an indie label. Let's see. It's which one is it now? Is it Girls Gotta Eat Records or is it Flaming Dame Records? She had one and then went to the other. I think it's Flaming Dame Records she has right now. Nominally Brennett is her name. Used to be out of Tucson. Now she's out of somewhere in Iowa. But everything she does is self-produced.
That's good. That's you know what? It's cheaper, and if you've got decent enough equipment, it'll sound good.
Yeah, and all of her promotion is just through her touring. She goes, well, when she was in Tucson, she would start on one end of the country and go to the other, and then work her way back. And
cool.
I guess
we do local stuff, but
I guess she does something similar now.
Well, the problem with my band is my original guitar player, Will, passed away recently.
Oh,
but
he
had already moved over to Vancouver Island, so he kind of dropped out of the band anyways. And our bass player at the time stepped into his shoes. And then Will's nephew was our rhythm player, and he's gone now too because he's got kids and stuff. And he's out of town too many months out of the year anyways. So now we've got another guy who stepped in my old band way in the back, or way in the past, named Peter, who's jumped in on bass. So we've got a guitar, we got a bass, and my original drummer from the old band too, Colin, who is fucking fantastic. It's the most amazing drummer I've ever worked with. This guy is I think you call someone like him a savant. He can play guitar, bass, organ, piano. He never played a violin before. And he picked the fucking thing up and started playing it like he'd been playing for years, which probably pissed off all the young violinists in the world who are still learning. Right? Like, he's an amazing drummer. Anyways, so we've recorded a bunch of tunes, and most of them are available on SoundCloud, and we're doing about 6 or 7 new ones, and I should have them listenable probably by the springtime, because
how does this SoundCloud work?
You just go on and you type in a band name. I put the band name in the chat there. Our band is called Liminus, which is Latin for on the threshold, which is a funny story anyways, because we used to be called Threshold. We didn't even have a band name when we recorded our first 6 names. We were just going with, I think we were going with Fun with Chickens or something. Anyways, it was a joke. But we ended to come up with a name for the cover of the album, obviously. So we went with Threshold. And then I found out that there is a prog metal band in England called Threshold, and they've been going since like 92 or 3. And I got a message on MySpace. You remember MySpace?
I remember MySpace. Never used it, but I remember it.
Well, we put a page up there, and we got a message from the guy from Threshold in England saying, you better change your name or I'm going to sue you. I'm like, why? Nobody knows who the fuck you are here. What are you talking about? He goes, no, you got to change your name because we're getting the rights to it in North America now anyways. I said, all right, fine. So I looked up, I was into old, outdated languages at the time, so I looked up what Threshold would be in Latin, and they came with these weird-ass names, and then I found On the Threshold being Liminus. So we went with Liminus because it sounded cool, and no one else is going to have that name. And the only other thing I've ever found with that name is a theater called Liminus Theater. So that's who we are now. Yeah, a little bit of a story there.
That's a cool backstory there.
Well, yeah. Now you're on the inside track on that one. So whenever we post our huge album, one day you go, yeah, I know the singer of that band, and he told me how they got their name, motherfucker.
I knew them before they were big and famous.
Yeah, we're not going to be big and famous. No. I don't even care about that. I love making music, and I love performing. So I got really shitty versions of our songs on YouTube that we performed way back on the Luminous YouTube channel, actually. So it's crap. It seems like every time we did recordings of our live shows, I was always sick with a cold or a flu or something stupid. So my vocals are all over the fucking place. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, but I can't wait to share the new stuff because a lot of our stuff is fairly heavy. But we do some acoustic stuff. We do some stuff we do one called the Immortal Realm that I wrote back in the day when I used to still think there was an afterlife. Like I literally wrote that song over 20 years ago lyrically. And that was our one song that was like a tribute to the 80s hair metal kind of sound. So yeah, so we did that one. And then there's stuff that's quite heavy, deep, bassy, kind of heavy shit. And then we have acoustic stuff. I recommend, it's probably one of our most listened to songs. It's called Dollhouse that I wrote. I was sitting on the shitter here one day and I had McLean, the Canadian magazine that used, and on some guys that were going to like Thailand, Asian areas there.
Speaking of Dollhouse, nice cover on that one.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Blacked out over the eye there. It's an acoustic one, and it talks about how these girls are promised that they'd be brought here, but of course the families had to come up with the money to pay for them to come back here, and they would provide them with jobs, and then they would send for the families later. Well, these children would end up in brothels.
Okay.
As sex slaves, and that's what the whole premise behind Dollhouse is.
Geez, the cover is nicer than the story.
Mm. A friend of mine did a painting because she loved the song so much, and it shows a girl sitting in a darkened room with the needle and the tube in her mouth and getting ready to inject, because it mentions that in the song, and this shadowy figurey guy standing in the background ready to take advantage of her. So yeah, so it's a serious song. Most of the stuff I write is serious, so, or experiential shit from my own personal life. So, I don't know. Somebody fucking asked.
Ridiculously familiar. Oh god, I gotta get up. Oh, I was actually just laying down on the ground for a bit because my bloody body is hurting. But I need to look something up because just your description of that picture sounded too familiar. I need to see if it's similar to the one that I've got, or if I'm just mixing things up in my mind.
I'd show you, but it's hanging up at the jam space. So.
No, it's all right.
I'll take a picture of it the next time I'm there, NotJah, and I'll send you a copy of it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I'm assuming that Diana fucked off to listen to Dollhouse.
No, I put the camera off because I'm reseating my my upper plate, and you don't want to see me pull my teeth out of my mouth.
That's all right.
Yeah, you can tell I don't sound quite the same. Okay. There, that's a little better. Yeah, I have to reapply the denture adhesive once or twice a day, and there we go.
I don't know. I don't know. How far am I from Utah? I don't think I'm that far, to be honest.
You're not that far. You're in southern BC?
Yeah, what's under us is Washington. And then I think we border 3 states. Washington, Montana, and Ohio?
No.
You sure?
Ohio is on Lake Erie.
Yeah, I know. But BC's fairly wide. BC borders Which states? I know it's Montana and Washington, because I go down there quite often. Idaho, maybe.
It's the Montana and Washington.
It is. NotJah nailed it. It's Idaho. So we border Montana, Washington, and Idaho.
Reese and Jen in the chat.
Oh, and Alaska to the north. So technically, that's 4 states.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, you
Pacific.
noticed that Ohio is a little bit to the east of British Columbia.
Yeah. You're right. It's closer to like Ontario and shit. So.
Yeah, that's
So
unfortunately the state of my birth.
I got a little bit of work I need to still do today, so I might have to think about disappearing.
That's okay, because I got to actually head out of here soon anyways. I'm going to go eat some leftover ribs at my buddy's place downstairs. So he's cool. He's like, "Why are you coming down to eat my fucking ribs, bastard?" I'm like, "Oh, if you insist." I'm not going to say no.
And then I can take out the garbage.
All right,
Speaking
guys.
of the garbage, where is she? There she is. Where are you, you little one? I'm going to have to fill your football, am I not? Yeah.
NotJah, thanks again for doing the interview with me, by the way. That was,
not a problem at all,
great.
Man. It was good fun.
Great to great to have one-on-one with you, too. Just like the other day, I had one-on-one with Diana because she had a stream going, and I just jumped in. I was like, "Hey, how's it going?"
And then I get we'll figure out a date that you can get my deconversion story.
You betcha. I have on Monday, which is I think I'll be doing Duke Bonanza on Monday. So
okay, I don't get to talk to Duke very much.
So I'll be doing his story, and I have something that I'm going to be setting up with Thomas Bear. So he wants to do one as well, and I've had a couple other people ping me on this, but it's a matter of me getting it set up. But Duke is tomorrow, and then Thomas I'll know for sure. It'll either be Wednesday or Thursday with him. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, with me, my Sundays are my Sundays are definitely shit, and my Wednesdays aren't much better.
Well, maybe Thursdays, because Fridays for me are never good, obviously, because of jam night. But Saturdays, like today, I can do it after 6 on Saturdays, 6 my time. So
for now, that doesn't sound a bad thing. Yeah, because I do want to get, like I said, this week I am remiss this week. Mea culpa, I apologize. But I'll get the Sunday stream started again. And if it turns out that we get one last meeting in on Saturdays, then that'll be the way it goes. That's why I put the Discord server together, to get everybody together. And
I know I'm on a bunch of different Discords.
Say again?
I'm on a few different people's Discords.
They start to accumulate, eh?
Yeah. NotJah, did you say that you made one?
Oh, I've had one for a while. I don't use it though.
No, okay. Because I just started mine this evening.
All right, I'll add myself to yours too, Dan.
Oh yeah, you let me. Did I? I might have dropped an invitation to my Discord in your Twitter DM.
In mine?
Yeah, I might have done that. If I didn't, I'm gonna look.
Actually, yes, you did. Don't even worry, you did. I remember now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to keep it small, at least for now.
Sure.
Mainly the people I work with. And
wow, I'm honored.
Can I tell you, you're deserving of it. But
thank you.
We've got all the great people in there, and then of course there's NotJah.
Look at poor NotJah getting the short end of the stick here. What the hell's going on?
I don't know.
I'm a fairly I'm not an easy person to get to know, but you guys seem to hit all the right buttons with me, so I already consider you guys part of my family. So
well, danke schön.
There you have it.
Yeah, it's
right. Are we wrapping, or otherwise I'm going to get out?
What's that?
Are we wrapping it up, or otherwise I've got to get out of here?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take it because I gotta go too.
I've been on for quite a few hours now, and it's time for me to think about night.
Yeah. All right. Well, both you guys take it easy for the rest of the night. Thanks again, NotJah. Thanks for joining us, Diana. Hey, my pleasure, man. It's all a pleasure. And until next time, guys, in the chat room, we'll see you guys next time. Remember, remain godless because faith is not knowledge, or something like that. Anyways.
Something like that. There you go.
Too many scotches.
Yes.
All right.
Hit
All right,
the
guys.
button and then turn it off.
Cheers. Peace out.